Welcome back to Overland, Italy. Today is Saturday, May the 27th, 2023. Right now we are on the southeastern coast of Italy near Polignano a Mare. This week we're going to be making our way north up to Bad Kissingen in Germany for one of the two largest overlanding events in all of Europe called the Abenteuer Allrad. So join us as we spend the next 2 to possibly 3 weeks traveling north into the heart of Germany and making our way back either through Switzerland and Austria. We're really excited to bring this spectacular event to you. So if you're new to the channel, please be sure to like and subscribe our videos. I remember being on the other side of the camera in your chair, listening to people to say that, and I never really understood it until I had a channel of my own. So please be sure to smash that like and subscribe button, as every subscriber makes a big difference in supporting our channel. Other than that, sit back, relax, and enjoy, because wow, have we got an exciting several weeks for you. So I've found an incredibly remote location, which is not easy to do in Italy, on the beach, and I came through some soft, super fine sand where 2 or 3 other vehicles clearly had gotten stuck just trying to make it in and never arrived. And I got to the point where there's just a little bit of shelter from the wind, and my back rear tire number 3 got stuck in the sand. So I used my shovel and then placed my MaxTrax recovery boards under it, and I'm about to do a self-recovery, which I'll show you in a moment, but I just wanted you to see where we're at. Now as we move toward the vehicle, you'll probably be able to hear from the mic. Right here we've got shelter from those little bushes at the front of the beach. And this is where I got stuck momentarily on the way in. So I've got my trusty tripod set up. I've already cleared out the sand for the most part and have the MaxTrax recovery boards in position. And I have not attempted to get out yet, but you're about to see if I can. So the vehicle is very heavy right now. Fuel, water, food, and supplies for at least 2 weeks. So what I'm gonna need to do is grab my shovel again and do a better job clearing out the vehicle underneath. If I needed to, I have my winch, but what most people would fail to realize is if you don't have a tree, or another vehicle in front of you, what good is your winch? So we also have what's called a pull pal, which is used for tractors in Colorado, again, where I grew up. And so it opens up and it's like a land anchor. So the pull pal will dig into the soft sand, and then the winch will pull it, it'll drive it down into the ground, and I literally use the earth as my anchor to get unstuck. So having those types of tools enables me to go to locations by myself that otherwise I wouldn't even attempt without another recovery vehicle nearby. Be right back. That was fun. So one of the things you might notice now, there's a difference, is that the MaxTrax are at an angle pointed down so that the tires can begin to grab traction on their teeth, and then the vehicle will naturally lay the MaxTrax down. Before, in all honesty, I had them almost horizontal or parallel to the ground with a little bit of bite, but apparently not enough in this situation to enable the car to get some traction and pull itself out. This should make a difference. Let's see. Did the trick. So I happen to use MaxTrax, which are red, although they do look more orange than red. Those are technically red. And the reason for the coloring is because it's easier to find when you need to then pull them out of the sand for your next use. I'm telling you, recovery boards are the best. So it isn't even that it was that hard. A little bit of an incline, tilt to the side, but this soft sand, it'll just suck your car in and create almost like a vacuum. And you also really have to be careful, because when you're shoveling, you can cause your vehicle to sink farther into the ground than it was before. So really what you want to do is to clear a path just in front of the tires. If you are high centered in one particular location, obviously try to remove some of that or any other hindrances. But the big one is to clear the path so you have less rolling resistance as you want to move forward. Hopefully you should be able to tell from the boom microphone how much calmer it is right here. If you're going to be camping on the beach, you really don't want to camp on the beach unless you just enjoy being berated with a sand windstorm in your face. If not now, certainly later, gusts of wind, or the middle of the night, your rooftop tent or your ground tent is just going to be flapping like you're in a hurricane. So it's always a good idea to try to get behind that first little ledge, hopefully where you still have a nice view, and that way you'll enjoy your experience much better. Now when I'm in the city, I have just a normal padlock to prevent someone from stealing my MaxTrax boards. But once I've come into the bush, as it were, then I can just change that out for a carabiner for easier access. Now, one of the other things that these MaxTrax are really renowned for is being able to level your car when you want to go to sleep, right? So when you're finding your parking location, if the car is tilted or one angle is of the vehicle is down, you can just basically use these as a stepping board to level out your vehicle. So I've found myself frequently using these boards, whether for a self-recovery like you just saw, but more often than not just to level the vehicle so that you can have a good night's rest and you're not rolling down one side of the car. So when you're done, you just grab them, put them back. That's it. So now we're back to the other side of the vehicle, the driver's side, as we're pointed toward the beach. And, you know, now that I think about it, I might just wind up turning the car around because I'm gonna stay here for a day. And the sun is gonna come up tomorrow, obviously in the east, come across this way. I'll be able to use the solar panels, of which I have 3, to recharge the batteries. Not that they're really drained because I've been driving for a few hours to get here. About, I'd have to look, maybe 230, 240 kilometers, nice and slow and mellow. Also, when I pop the rooftop tent up, I'll be able to sit and look out and have just a fantastic apartment view of the water. And as I'm cooking, I'll be able to enjoy that as well, rather than being on the backside. Now, the reason I haven't done that yet is because I want to open the rooftop tent to see, once I have elevation, if I'm going to be exceeding my little wind barrier. Because when you have incoming wind, obviously you want to point the vehicle, the nose, into the wind, right? So it kind of creates a natural shield for you. If the vehicle's turned the other way around and I'm above my little windbreak, yeah, it's gonna be a rough night. So anyway, what I wanted to show you in the meantime is I've placed my shovel, standard shovel, great place to put your feet. Has good reach, it's decent. If I wanted a longer one, it would still work. And I placed them right up here. Now, I was recently asked, why are these bolts so long? They could be much shorter. And the reason they're that long is because I don't have to take the wing nuts off. They always stay attached to the bolt. If you were to drop a wing nut or a washer into this sand, you might be able to find it, or you could spend the next hour trying to locate it. Yeah, so I leave the bolts nice and long, and it alleviates any problems before they occur. And these are the utility rails that have just been fantastic, not only for our drop-down exterior shelf and gull wing to make coffee, etc., but also be able to make use of your shovel. So I really make use of these products every day, all the time. So for an LR3 or an LR4, could not recommend these highly enough.